As we reflect on week number 1, we have been saying that everything has been good. Everything that God created is good, and hopefully you have memorized the Bible verse, and then you are going to be engaging and saying all the new things that are going to happen during this week. As we come to week 2 is a ruling word, and week 2 is going to be a tiny bit dense, and it's going to be quite overwhelming at some times, because this week we are going to be talking about all the things that went wrong. How do we know and explore the word sin, and how do we tell that to our kids as we are learning in our devotions? As we are going to be learning, and I will try my best to, we are going to be spelling some of the words. Sin, S, all the things that I see, I hear, I talk, I think, and I do that are not good to God. So for the word S, we start with all the things that I see, hear, talk, think, and do. And I is for I. Is the things that I do. And for the last one, N, we do no, that are no good in front of the eyes of God. S, see, hear, think, talk, and do. I, and N for no. So as we move from the word of the week, and that is small word with big consequences, we are going to be learning about a number of things that are really difficult for us. The beginning of sin, the things that we do that are not good for God. The beginning of shame. For me, it terrifies me when I am singing out loud if somebody hear me, because I don't think that I am a really good singer. So that is something that I probably feel shame of. The beginning of fear. How do we share that? For me, I am really scared of heights. So if you put me in a really high building, I'm going to stay in the middle and not close to the edge, because it terrifies me, the height. Ask your kids or share in the table as you do this devotion, what are the things that you feel shame, and what are the things that are bad for you and you are afraid of. Also, this week is not only about bad things. As we know this phrase, it has to be get worse to get better. This week everything gets worse and then gets better. On Thursday, it's really important to don't bypass the day Thursday. It's important to keep Thursday as we learn about the beginning of salvation and the plan that God has. As you reflect, and I am not going to be promoting myself, but last Sunday, as we learn about the Lamb of God and take the sin of the world, just try to connect that and see how we were talking about Genesis 3, how that was the beginning of the promise, and how that promise was going to be all the way connecting to Jesus. One of the keys this week is to try to connect all the things that we do and connect it with Jesus. Then is a really terrible day on Saturday, and is the beginning of murder. In the link below that you are going to have, I will put you a link for a book called Goodbyes to Goodbyes. As it's a really difficult topic to talk about death, this is a book that is really helpful. It tells a story about Lazarus and how God raised Lazarus from death. And so as you talk about the murder and the first person that died on the Bible, and you link that with the promise of the Lamb of God and Jesus Christ, you link that also with the promise of the resurrection. And hopefully that is a good summary of the week. And let me know if you need any help. To finalize this week, there is a number of things, and it would be really important to mark. What did we learn about God? What did we learn about sin? What did we learn about Jesus? And how do we learn to live in a world that things are not going good? In a world that is full of sin, but we have the promise of eternal life and Jesus. This week, it would be good if you do some craft marking the black and white colors, and how do we make that, and something that is really important and something to memorize. And I'm going to give you a wee story. I had a friend in Cuba that was really excited about sharing the good news of Christ. So we went into a summer camp, and he was really excited about this. So he went to preach the gospel to a couple of kids. So he just was telling the whole story and getting there and getting really excited with the story. And then when he invited the kids to accept Christ, all the kids were pretty frightened. They were crying and they were not really knowing what had happened. And so somebody pointed to my friend that he was so excited that he talked about the cross, but he forgot about the resurrection. And a Christ that is not alive is not something that you want to give your life to. So as this week is really dense, it has a lot of really difficult topics. Don't get all the way down with the curse, with the chain, with the fear, and with death. Remember to point out to Jesus. And don't do like my friend. Don't leave Jesus hanging on the cross. But remember, people, of the promise of resurrection, of the promise of a goodbye to goodbye forever, to a life with eternal life, to a life when we are going to have things even better than week one, even better than this is good. It's going to be a week, and it's going to be a world full of amazing things, because we are going to be with God and we are going to be alive. Keep digging, keep exploring, and please send me a message or give me a call if you want to know more or to get a book. God blessings.